following video content parents may find unsuitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Play Minecraft!
Hey everybody, it's Hunger, and welcome to another Mooncraft stream. So yeah, we're going to play some Minecraft, do some pixel art, hopefully finish this one. And yeah, we're going to have a great old time. So yeah, we will be doing talky podcasty things and gamey play things. So yeah, let's go ahead and head down here, see what's what. Alright. Grabbing this. Okay, so this is... Okay, that's a thing. And then... like so. Okay, that works, I suppose. Another 4. Oh, up there. Then 3. This one should just be... Okay. That's a thing. Oh, jeez. Wow. Biblically accurate angels, yeah. Yeah, some of the ways that some of the angels that they describe in the Bible are just sound freaky. Like, there's all these people who have had out-of-body experience, and they're like, I went to heaven, I saw it, and then, like, none of them, as far as I know, mention those things. Like, the biblically accurate angels. It's interesting to me. Like, that's all. Like, like I wonder if like heaven like hides those in the back or something. Like, oh, don't bring those out, new people. Scare the new guy, you know. Yeah. Right. You get to heaven, there's a biblically accurate angel there. It looks terrifying. So you're like, Jesus! And he's like, what? I'm right here. Sorry. Crap. Okay. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. I'll just start up here at the top where it's easier. Okay. I think that's the right shape, so. There we go. Okay. Got that part of the cape done. Right. It's a power that Galactus doesn't have in every continuity, but, you know. As far as I know. I feel like Galactus, as power creep has impacted the rest of the Marvel Universe, has been forced to impact Galactus too. So it just keeps getting progressively more broken. Like, as they keep making the heroes more busted, they have to make Galactus more busted to keep up. Right. I know he's not the strongest entity in the Marvel Universe or anything. I'm just saying that in order to make him a credible threat to whatever, lineup of heroes he's facing, they end up having to buff Galactus as they buff the heroes for him to stay relevant. Because otherwise he would just show up and the heroes would just be like, it's that guy again, let's just shit on him. And then he'd get owned in like 2 seconds, and like old school Galactus would probably get mobbed on by like even some of the weaker heroes. He's strong enough to be the herald of Franklin Richard, yeah. Franklin Richards is a thing. I have some, like, the thing is, they foreshadowed for so long that he was going to be something special in the comics, and then, finally got around to doing stuff with him. It's like, yeah. There's a lot of build-up in there, It's very ambitious for a comic writer who may or may not continue working on a comic for very long to have that much build-up, I feel like. Most comic artists don't go for that much build-up in a story. Yeah. They're just like, build up for a little bit and then do something. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like, that's the thing, is Galactus has constantly been buffed over the years, whereas Unicron, I think the strongest iteration of Unicron was probably Transformers Prime Unicron. Because he had all kinds of busted powers there. But Transformers Prime Unicron would still be Earth size, so yeah. And I mean, like, it makes sense to put them up against each other. They're both planet eaters, Like, I could see them getting into it with each other with little to no provocation, just over dinner, Like, hey, I was gonna eat that. Grudges over food are a thing to be feared. Yeah, it's something where, like I said, it depends on which Unicron you use, because, and which Galactus you use, for that matter, because old school Galactus, I feel like, gets hosed by Unicron no problem. Like, if you take like one of the older iterations of Galactus and put him up against Unicron, I feel like Unicron, like, because Galactus, in most cases, is big enough to, like, is small enough to stand on the Earth, and Unicron would just squish him. Like, there wouldn't be a fucking contest. Like, he would just win. Well, no, the thing is, there's different iterations of Unicron and different continuities. The Transformers Prime Unicron is part of planet Earth, and he's able to manifest in different locations on the Earth as part of the Earth, and like his core is at the center of the Earth. You know, so he has like, you know, so if Galactus landed on Earth and tried to beat that, even though Galactus has all these shape-shifting powers and all this crap, Unicron is basically the same in Transformers Prime. So, but yeah, the right. But yeah, the it's something where, like I said, you know, if you take the Transformers the movie Unicron, like the original iteration of the character, and put him up against Galactus, like modern Galactus with all of his supernatural shape-shifting powers and, you know, being made of pure energy and all this crap, then yeah, I think Unicron probably loses to that. But like I said, it's something where so much of fights between characters like those is determined by which version of the characters you pick, because different writers write those characters differently, you know? And they're going to write them stronger or weaker depending on what they're using them for, you know? Yeah. Like, it's also possible that original Transformers the movie Unicron, like, he has some sort of, like, supernatural shielding against attacks and things. So, it's possible that, you know, the only thing that could destroy him is the Matrix of Leadership. So, that's another, you know, like, argument for why he might win. Like, you know, like, they blow up a fucking moon as he's eating it, like in his fucking mouth. It doesn't do shit. Like, you know, doesn't even dent him, you know. Galactus went into a pocket, you know, like pocket dimension. Yeah, that's like the thing is, like I said, older Galactus doesn't really have like a pocket dimension to hide at. Like he just kind of travels around the universe and tells the Silver Surfer to go warn people that he's gonna eat them. Like, you know, it's like, oh, get off your planet while you can. I'm feeling peckish, you know, that type of shit, you know. It's like, hope you've got space travel, because, you know, Galactus hungers, you know. Yeah. Yeah, Galactus is power cosmic. Here's the funny thing about Galactus being power cosmic incarnate. In Marvel Zombies, Galactus gets eaten by zombies. Power cosmic be damned. Basically, so yeah, basically what happens in Marvel Zombies, like, you know, which, yeah, like, so basically what happens in Marvel Zombies is Galactus, arrives at the world that's been impacted by the Marvel Zombies thing, and but before he arrives, of course, he sends his herald, Silver Surfer, to inform the inhabitants that he's going to chow down. The only problem is the Silver Surfer. The zombies found him delicious, so he got eaten. And when they ate the Silver Surfer, they basically inherited his power cosmic. So yeah, yeah. So when Galactus gets there, instead of finding the normal shit, he finds a bunch of power cosmic powered zombies who fucking eat him. Just oh man, one of the saddest L's Galactus ever took, honestly. Oh crap! I still need that. Hang on. All right. Yeah, there it goes. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. Hang on. I'm going back up here to double check this shit. Alright. Let's see. uh yeah, well, I feel like that's actually fair though. Hey, Solus is here. Yeah. Like, Megatron has had some pretty powerful iterations over time, but I don't think any any of his iterations have ever wrecked a planet. So why?
Okay.
Why is Discord not picking up my mic? Why is everything like this? Voice and video. Why are you doing this, Discord? Why are you being annoying? Where do I go to... It's not under my account, is it? Wait, devices. There we go. You... Get out of stream mode. What do you mean? Seriously, let me check my shit. Oh my god. My account. Seriously. Fucking piece of shit. Voice and video. Why are you on default? Why would you switch to default? Absolute pile of shit.
Huh?
God. Discord being pieces of shit and switching my settings to default for no fucking reason.
Oh.
Like... Okay.
I wonder why you weren't saying anything.
Yeah, that's what was happening.
No.
Alright, you can hear me now though, right?
Yep.
God, what a pain in the ass. Fucking Discord. I was in the middle of doing something, and now they're making me lose my spot. Like, it's so irritating. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a thing there. Okay, that is also a thing. Oh, wait. God damn it. Okay, scoot this down a little bit. Fuck. Okay, so there's that. And then do that. Do. And let's see. Hold on. Okay. So what happens? Oh. Okay, I think I see where I fucked up now. It's supposed to be like that. And then that. Okay. That makes so much more fucking sense. Okay. And then I can do this. And that. This. Alright, then. That. Oh, God. Sorry about that. I'm trying to cough in everybody's ears.
Mhm.
Okay.
Jeez.
Okay. Good freaking lord. Okay. I think that's managed everything. Holy crap. There sure was a lot of that shit. I swear to God. Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? Go away. Is it a tourist trap? Get the fuck out of here. Ugh. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. Cheesy little scam artist that goes somewhere else. For some reason, my headcanon is that wandering traders speak with Indian accents and tell you that they're with the FBI.
And not German accents?
Nah. Fucking call center scammers piss me off. Alright. Hey, Minecraft Mojang is here. Welcome back. Okay, I think that has got the cape done. So, cape is good now. So, that's the thing that's good, the cape. I actually like the way that ended up looking with the... Anything bad. Okay. Ah, yes. This fool and his arm. see. Okay, so we got black there. That's probably black too. Wait a second. Black there. Ah, okay, hang on. Let's grab this. So this is gonna go. Like that. Hmm. I feel like a lot of this is being done in slightly lighter gray for some reason. Okay, let's see. So. Doing that. 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 Yeah, this is so tough. All right. Hmm. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna put my
Oh, Jesus
switches away
Christ.
sync.
Hi, Dude Slayer.
Oh,
What up?
Dude, Slayer jump scared.
I legit thought that was Hunger's mic doing that.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
But when I heard the echo, I realized who it was.
My mic
Yeah.
doesn't jump scare people. It has better shit to do.
Right?
shit.
Jeez.
I'm gonna put my. Oh, I'll be right back. I'll stick in the seat.
Okay. dog.
What up, dog? How is this? Did I mess this up? Trying to figure out how this got messed up. So this is supposed to be this bit over here.
Okay, I'm back.
And then like that.
So have both of you guys beaten the epilogue yet?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think of it? Was something
Yeah. So,
I think Mochi.
Mochi?
Mochi.
Mochi Mochi.
That's what I think about it. I
Yeah.
think
Mochi,
Mochi.
Mochi. Mochi
It's funny 'cause-
Mochi.
At first, I thought the leaks about like the zombie trainers or whatever were gonna be fake, but they ended up somewhat being true.
Yeah.
While they weren't zombies, they were still possessed by
Yeah.
I heavily expected Dokutoro, or I guess it's now called Pekarunt, which I'll never get over. I'm still calling it Dokutoro. It's funny because you can't nickname it that either.
Oh,
I think it's because like coot is like a swear word in I think French or something, something stupid like that.
Interesting.
Like KUT. If you can actually put an accent over the U, you can actually name it Dokutoro still. I've seen a lot of people saying stuff like that.
Yeah. Doku is poison. So.
Yeah, that's what it seems from the finals. It makes sense too if it's poison. Also, I don't know who at Game Freak thought it was a good idea. I mean, aesthetically, I like the stat spread. I really think it's a cool thing, but I think competitively, this thing is just going to be insane physically defense-wise, but with one, like, earth power, you're dead.
Yeah.
It's got 88 and everything else. It's also level 88.
Okay, listen. I heard that ground Terra on Petrarunt is insanely cracked.
Yeah,
From
I
what
mean,
I've seen anyways.
160 defense is something.
Yeah.
I mean, 80 special defense is not bad, honestly.
It's not terrible. It's just, it's weird for a legendary to have only one big stat and everything else be like. I mean, I can see what they were going for, the whole toxic chain thing. And I mean, it's also not really a fighter. That's why it manipulates people, manipulates stronger Pokemon to do its bidding.
Right.
I do think it's a cool legendary.
So I was looking at at some fan art that somebody posted in the thing earlier, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's why it had the loyal 3 steal Ogerpon's mask, because with Ogerpon wearing the mask, it couldn't feed it Mochi.
Yeah, I wanted to feed Ogerpon Mochi.
Oh,
So,
dude, that's wild.
yeah. Yeah, Ogerpon was basically immune to it because it had a mask on. So,
It's just the coronavirus Pokemon.
jeez.
Did you get that special interaction when you threw Ogerpon out against Petra?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
I have...
all it does when you throw out one of the Loyalty 3 or the Ogerpon is like the Petra just like makes grunting noises at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just reacts.
Yeah, the Ogerpon also gets angry, which is cool, but
Yeah.
yeah. I had a feeling that would happen, so I already put them on my team. I
Right.
didn't even see any...
I put all 4 of them on
my
my team too. I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, get them.
Yeah, Monkey Dory absolutely...
Monkey Dory
wrecks the shit out of
absolutely
it.
rocks that thing because you can't like
Yeah,
Petra
they really
can't
does.
poison it, and Monkey Dory's just like, oh, nasty plot, psychic. Oh, you died. Oh,
Well, that's sad
It's
for
funny
you.
'cause at first, I was using them in order, so I sent out Ogerpon first. Ogerpon got swept. I have Fire Mask the Ogerpon, it still got swept. It's like, holy
Yeah.
shit, I'm doing like nothing to this, hitting it
Yeah.
with physical attacks, and then I hit it with just one psychic, and it finishes it off.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Monkey's cracked.
And so far, last I played, the only post-game battle I've done so far, or post-epilogue, I guess, is Carmine, and I got the, she gives you, for first battle of her, she gives you, like, glasses that are
yeah.
based off of the
Sinister glasses.
Sinister glasses, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I want to battle, see the other battles too in trades.
I got to battle Penny again.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I need to do that. I need to battle Penny against her awesome theme.
Yeah.
I basically rematched all the new
That was all I wanted. I was just like, oh, Penny. You can rematch Penny anytime you want. Okay, well, guess what I'm doing with all my BP from now on. You know.
You get a jam out every time you fight. In my opinion, that is one missed opportunity from this DLC. The only thing I would say that this DLC didn't do right, because I still think this is one of the best things Game Freak has given us in a really long time. And I say this as someone who was very critical of Gen 9 when it came out.
Right.
I actually really do like this DLC, but one thing I really wish they did is for the music player, I wish they gave us battle themes on it. Like, they only gave us, like, some route themes.
The ones
and,
in
like,
the lounge room.
Yeah.
The one in the lounge room,
like,
I mean. Yeah.
You only get, like, some of the route themes and stuff, and, like, I have it set to the Legends Arceus base theme, the Jubilife Village, because I think that one's pretty nice.
Yeah.
It is pretty cool you can customize it, though. But, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that aspect of it, but yeah, like, it's something where... yeah, I kind of wish I could, like, blast Penny's theme in there, too, but...
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, her theme is insane.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
Like,
There's something that's been... Yeah, it's really...
honestly, that fucking Mochi Mochi theme, like the fucking Petra Run theme, that song's a bop. Like,
it is.
It's so fun too.
Like, I love it.
It really is.
Honestly, feels like something out of a Mother game, like Earthbound or something. Like that whole post game felt like something out of Earthbound, and I like it though. It's funny.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, keep in mind it's the same people. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know, because
oh yeah, like
because the thing is, the people that the studio that made the Mother games was called Ape, but in the early '90s when it was looking like Game Freak was having trouble finishing the Pokemon all by themselves, Nintendo basically drafted Ape to help fix the game. And Ape changed their name to Creatures at the time. So, you know, all the time you see Creatures in the credits, it's just the people from Ape. You know.
Yeah, I knew about that. Yeah, it's also part of why Red's design was actually based off of Ness. I'm pretty sure. Like the red cap and the fact that he's like 10 years old and goes on an adventure.
Yep.
Just,
like there's some similarities there for sure.
Yeah, there's also my favorite one is Mewtwo actually being designed being based off of Gygus, and even Mewtwo's origin, at least in the anime, experimented on by humans, and then having a hatred for humanity because of it was originally part of Gygus' story.
Yeah.
I think pretty cool. But yeah, Penny theme. So far, like, you can say what you want about the new Pokemon games not being as good as the old ones, but the music has just been getting better. Like
The music is
Yeah.
getting better.
I won't say
think
there's themes that I still think like my favorite champion theme is Cynthia's entire like encounter and battle theme.
Yeah.
But like Kieran, for example, and Penny as well, those are really good. Like, I know Penny's not really a champion, but it's champion worthy.
She's like the champion for this game was such a fucking joke that
Yeah,
Penny kind of
everyone's better than her.
Penny kind of had the best theme by default. Like
Yeah.
you fight the champion and it's this like joke of a fight where she's barely got anything to fight with, and like and then like you get to Penny, and like even if the fight isn't as cracked, like the theme was just went so
Yeah.
stupidly hard, like for
It
no
does.
reason. You know, it's like whoa. You know,
Yeah, it's crazy. All those themes. I think that it's also funny how like everyone was more challenging than Gita, especially Kieran. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
His team.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, his team was actually based to be competitively built.
mhm.
A lot of the things in the DLC were. It's actually one of my other favorite parts of the DLCs. They're actually. It reminded me of like
You have
XDL
all these-
Darkness. With like.
All these guys have like these competitive builds that's just crazy and whatnot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the rematches are fun too. Like, yeah, it's a great way to make money too. It's actually a really good way to make money in the club room. Also, that double battle or the multi battle against Penny and Arvin. I
Oh
wasn't
my
even
God.
using an amulet. I wasn't even using. For one, first of all, it was hilarious, that cutscene.
Mhm.
And secondly, I wasn't even using an amulet coin, and I got like 33k from that fight.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. It was so easy of a fight too. Like, it wasn't even that hard because they each
Right.
had 3 Pokemon.
Yeah, they each only have the 3, so it's just like, you know, you just work one of them down, and then it's just,
At first, I was kind of scared because I thought they were each going to have 6, but no,
yeah,
because it could have been possible. It's a multi-battle.
yeah, yeah. It's one of those things where when you do trainer multi battles in the game, they usually just do the 3-3 thing, like,
Yeah, it's essentially just a regular, like if you're fighting one trainer to
yeah,
balance it out. But it would have been
Right.
crazy if it was like 2 full teams of 6 against
yeah.
our 2
That
full
would
teams of
that would have
6.
been a crazy thing if it was like a full on multi battle, but yeah.
Mhm. I can't wait to rematch Penny again. I think it's the second one I'm going to do. And if Kieran shows up, I'm also going to rematch him because I want to do the trades with the trainers
Yeah.
and get their Pokemon.
If memory serves me right, Kieran gives you an Applin and
Applin, yeah.
Carmine gives you a Poltergeist.
Yeah. I've also heard people theorizing about the Pokemon they give you, or at least Kieran's.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's like a... it's just stupid theory territory, so I'm not going to get into it, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by the way the character acts around the trainer, but there was
Yeah.
this one trainer in Galar that says if you it's like a Galarian custom. Obviously, he's not a Galarian, so this probably isn't the case, but it's a Galarian custom to give like someone you love an Applin or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Kieran acts kind of like stalkerish almost.
Yeah,
about us.
he do be
Sorry.
acted like he's you know. Well, it's funny too because Arvin does too. Like
Yeah, Arvin is like...
Arvin's like
Yeah,
trying to
Arvin-
flex on Kieran, like oh hey, that's mine. You know?
Oh, hey, that's fine.
You know,
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, and Penny...
like yeah,
Penny
like
likes the mom. I can't really blame her.
I know, right? Penny's just like Scarlett's mom has got it going on.
Right. So,
Yeah,
Just got to think for milfs. Anyway,
yeah, she does.
really
So it
indeed.
seems.
no. Yeah, Penny's got good taste.
Yeah, I can't blame her. She's got a good taste in music, a good taste in battle themes, a good taste in.
Yeah.
She's a legitimate gamer.
She's got good taste in Pokemon. She's got good taste in women. She's, you know, like dang
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah, just be sure to remove that Vaporeon from her team, though.
Right? Replace it with a different evolution, man. Get Espeon.
And give Jumpy-Odd.
Jumpion.
Just trade her a Vaporeon nickname. Did you know?
You know?
You know what's funny?
Uh,
I think Game Freak literally just hates Kieran, because I saw a YouTube video where someone tried to trade him Ogerpon and it wouldn't let them. Like I said, you can't give this trainer a rare Pokemon.
yeah, they won't let you trade legendaries to anybody, like not just Kieran, but
Yeah, that actually is kind of stupid, honestly, because I mean, I would never trade a legendary to an NPC, because I mean, I don't get that much into the role-playing of the game, but
right.
for people who want to, I just say let them. Like, where's
Right.
the harm in trading it? It's
They just don't want
literally just a
people
line
to
of code.
accidentally trade by accident and then get pissed
I
off.
guess, yeah.
That's
I guess
the,
that's the case.
they're just trying, you know, like they you know, keep in mind they're thinking about little kids and they're like, oh man, one of them might accidentally do this because they're an idiot, you know. So
Yeah. No,
Like-
not my level 100 shiny Arceus.
right, yeah,
Trades
that type of shit.
it, gets like a Magnemite in return.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's I think the real reason is because they're just trying to prevent a scenario where, you know, people are upset because they accidentally traded something. But you know.
Yeah.
The thing is, I heard you could still trade your Walking Wake and those types of mons, like the one per save file Paradox mons. I heard you could still trade those.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So
It's weird because I mean they're technically. I guess because the game doesn't count
it
them as
doesn't count them as
legendaries.
legendaries. It just counts them as Paradox mons. So
Yeah. And they have like they're basically the same as like in the same tier as like what is it, the Glade Gardevoir fusion?
Iron Valiant.
Yeah, Iron Valiant and Roaring Moon. Those are basically the same like base stat total. So
Yeah.
yeah, next month is the Pokemon Day. It's gonna be sometime next month, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. So what I'm hoping for is not like a new release. I want them to work on the next generation, but I want maybe a new spin-off in this generation. Either that.
I
Or,
feel like it now would be the prime time to announce like oh yeah, one of our subsidiary companies has been working on you know, a black and white remake, you know, like
Right?
that type of thing, you know.
There's that. I also want. I will say it again because I'm not going to stop until it happens. I mean, I probably will get tired of asking for it, so I might stop eventually. But the Coliseum and XD ports, I want those really badly.
Mm-hmm.
They're all, and the reason I say it is I have a legitimate reason to want to say it too, because Nintendo's been porting a lot of GameCube games to the Switch lately.
Uh-huh.
Not just that, they've been remastering them actually. So
Right.
I mean, even a remaster would be even cooler. But I think the games look fine enough as they are. They can just port them if they want to.
Like, yeah.
But
Pokemon's
that's
Nintendo's
gonna be
baby. They're not gonna.
yeah.
You know, they did
They're
do the
probably gonna-
Stadium games though. They did put them in,
Yeah.
on the NSO. So
Yeah, so
You
I
know.
could see it maybe happening. And I
so
know
yeah, it's not like there's no hope at all. It's just, you know.
Yeah. It just usually takes them a while to put Pokemon games on like newer consoles, because when the Virtual Console came out on the 3DS, we were asking for years on end for the Game Boy Color Pokemon games, and we didn't even get them till like 2016.
You
Like
know. So
really
right
late to
right
the
before the
3DS
DS's lifespan ended, basically.
Yeah, and like I still got them because I wanted to use
Right.
Pokemon Bank to transport them to.
Well, yeah,
future
and
games.
they were like, yeah, transport these Pokemon up with Pokemon Bank, and then like a while later, they're like, okay, we're closing down the 3DS's
Yeah,
servers.
it's not.
You know,
Here's
you can
here's
still
another
use
Kanto
Pokemon
game.
Bank apparently,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
who
there's
who knows how long that's gonna
Yeah.
last? But
Yeah. Yeah, there are ways to do it. That Nintendo would want you to. People are actually creating their own custom 3DS servers for if you have like a modded 3DS, you can connect to them,
yeah,
which is interesting. They've done that with the DS too, actually. Like you can still
yeah.
use the GTS in like black and white if you put like a custom IP address in or something. Something
Nice.
like that. I don't know. But it's cool people can do to keep old servers online for games. But I will admit, I think that Nintendo's going about shutting down the 3DS and Wii U servers too soon because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Wii lasted until 2019. Its servers did. That game came out in like 2006. So yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they felt that they shut down the servers too late on that one. They felt like they could have done it earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know. Of course,
Probably,
the Wii
yeah.
was a much more popular console
Yeah.
than like the Wii U, so I could see.
Yeah, the Wii U and 3DS didn't really sell that well, aside from like there were some good games on the 3DS, like the Kirby games, the
Yeah.
Pokemon games. Those were all pretty good.
I
But
feel like
Other
I was glad with
series.
3DS Kirby games.
oh,
I
the
feel
Fire
like-
Emblems were also great on the
Yeah,
3DS.
I feel like Wii U got most of its good games towards the end of its life cycle,
Yeah,
and they sort of like they ended up most of them got ported. Like most of the really good games that were
Yeah.
good reasons to buy a Wii U ended up being ported after a
Yeah.
while. So it's like, bruh.
Yeah, the only thing that upsets me with them shutting down the 3DS servers is that there's always going to be that one person who is totally not me, who has nothing better to do other than replay Pokemon games from past and do Wonder Locks.
Mhm.
Not that I do it all the time. I did it once. I went back, I think it was like a few years ago. I played Pokemon Omega Ruby and I did a Wonder Lock, which was pretty fun. I didn't beat it, but
Yeah.
I got pretty decently far. And I will say Wonder Trading in those games was so much fun. So much better than the current day Wonder Trading.
Oh yeah, the stupid
I s-
surprise trade or whatever they call it now.
Yeah, I wouldn't have an issue with Surprise Trade if it just works the same way as Wonder Trades did, but it's so laggy and like, it's not a bad thing though. It's still Wonder Trading. It's just, it doesn't beat the how fast the Wonder Trading was. I still think the best feature of the PSS was actually having the ability to add friends just by playing with random people on Passerby, because that way you could just have new people to play the game with and stuff. You wouldn't have to like play with only your friends you already know. Like
Yeah.
you could just random battles with people you wanted to.
One
random
had voice
trades.
chat too.
Yeah, like there was actual voice chat. The Switch doesn't even have a microphone, so
Yeah, even though half the time on voice chat you would get little kids from foreign countries who didn't understand that not everybody speaks, Danish or whatever the fuck they were speaking.
oh
I
yeah,
know, right?
But like,
yeah.
but yeah, like
Some features,
I remember that was pretty fun.
It was.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thankfully, you don't need to use those features to beat the main story. Because in fact, I think I know Sun and Moon forces you to go to that one area for a tutorial, but I don't think you have to be connected to the internet for it. Like, yeah, basically Sun and Moon's version of like the thing from Black 2 and White 2,
yeah.
the Plaza thing or whatever. That was pretty fun.
Festival Plaza.
Yeah. The
So
Festival Plaza.
basically, Black and White or Black 2 White 2 had Join Avenue, which was like you said, kind of a prototype version of the Festival Plaza. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
So.
But yeah, I'm guessing on Pokemon Day they're probably just gonna give us stuff on Pokemon Masters like they've been doing with Pokemon Go, and then there's going to be one really big announcement that's either going to leave me disappointed or very surprised and very happy.
Yeah.
So the things I'm hoping for are either an entirely new spin-off series that could be good, a sequel to a previous, like a continuation of a previous spin-off, like that we haven't gotten in a while. Like maybe a new Pokken tournament game could be cool, like a new fighting game. I think that would be pretty cool.
You're thinking too shitty.
I don't give a flying fat shit about Pokemon Masters.
Yeah. Either that or a new mystery dungeon.
No. You're not in the right mind frame here. What we need is a new Pokemon Conquest game, and you can't change my mind.
That would be cool. I did like Pokemon.
If we got a 3D Pokemon Conquest game, I would be so fucking happy. Like,
that would be really cool.
Could you imagine that shit? Like, oh my god.
I even own the game too, I think.
Yeah, Pokemon Conquest good.
Yeah,
and then I'd finally have a version of it I could stream. So
I haven't played it in a long while. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it because it was like it wasn't like Fire Emblem, but it was like this other like strategy series.
Yeah, like
it's like a spin-off of another strategy.
Yeah,
series.
it was a crossover with another strategy series. Like it had characters from it and everything. But yeah, that's
yeah.
That game was awesome. And we need more of it.
Really
yeah, we do need more of it. I liked it. I liked it because Pokemon strategy RPG sounds cool. So I definitely would like a sequel to that because I did enjoy that one.
Yeah.
So like a sequel to that would be cool. A sequel. The reason
they wouldn't have to call it like Pokemon Conquest 2. It could be another game that's basically just like a spiritual successor or whatever. I just want another game like that. I need it.
Actually, here's something they could maybe do that would be kind of experimental, but I think would be kind of cool. A Pokemon Warriors game, like
Dynasty Warriors game, but with Pokemon.
Yeah, it sounds weird at first, but keep in mind there's already three Zelda ones and 2 Fire Emblem ones.
Right. I mean, I feel like you wouldn't. I feel like because of that you don't necessarily need one, but I could totally see it working. Like I could totally see how that would work. Like you just have to have certain Pokemon that you play as, and then other Pokemon that you just beat the shit out of.
Yeah, it could work. It's like it's just an interesting thing I think could probably be done because we've already, Pokemon, I think, has the most amount of like game genres out there.
Yeah,
it
would be funny.
Huge amount of like.
I'm just picturing Pikachu walking through a field full of Spearows and just zapping the shit out of them. Like,
I can see them doing it because like Pokemon Tournament was similar. Like having like a slightly like obviously I'm not nothing is super edgy like T-rated or whatever. They would do that, but like slightly grittier like Pokemon Tournament would definitely be like an E10 plus rating because they've done it before. So I could see them making like a Dynasty Warriors Pokemon. Maybe it depends, really, because Dynasty Warriors is definitely more focused on like humans fighting other like monsters and stuff. But yeah.
I heard
that's why Pokemon would be so unique and different, and they could have like type advantages and stuff. So like so it'd be
because like
it'd be a good idea to use certain Pokemon in certain areas and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I know Fire Emblem Warriors made it play like Fire Emblem with like the way the strategies and stuff. So,
Anyway, I think Souls wanted to say something. So.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I heard that Pokemon TV was coming to a shutdown.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
After they
use it,
working with their service for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, That's a shame. I've been watching the anime on 9 Anime because it doesn't have Ash as the main character. It's actually not that bad. There's sadly, of course, it's Pokemon. There's going to be filler. There have been some filler episodes I wasn't really fond of, but so far the story episodes haven't been that bad. The animation, they've definitely stepped it up a notch.
Talk about
feels
journeys.
Like yeah, it actually feels like I'm watching an anime for once. Just the way the story's written.
Without Ash.
Right.
He hasn't even showed up in a single episode yet.
That's good.
No, he's not, and I hope he never will.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite literally Pokemon if it was an anime, because it all, like, actually anime, because it has Nimona at one episode, and she's Goku. The Pokemon anime had a crossover of Dragon Ball recently, I guess.
Jeez.
Hi, I'm Nimona. Do you want to battle?
Right? Nimona is literally just that battle meme. Battle! Battle! Battle!
Yeah. Also, she definitely must have improved it. She must have improved her team in the epilogue, because she beat Kieran very easily. And his team was like, what? His team actually gave me I didn't die to him, because I will admit I had to revive some of my Pokemon, because
I didn't die to him because I'm not a scrub, but...
but yeah, no, I was using my team mods I caught in the DLC Part 1, because I didn't want this DLC to be a breeze, so I didn't use my level 100 team. I had a team level 80s and 70s, and I will admit his fight was pretty tough, so...
See, me on
I'm
the
glad
other
they
hand...
actually give us using level 100.
For content reasons, I just wanted to get through the damn thing, so...
Yeah, that's understandable. Oh, it's also used like Eviolite level 100 baby mons.
Yeah, basically what I've always been doing.
Yeah, I still haven't fought the secret final boss yet though, because I know I need to get I have to battle everyone at least once, I think, to do that, which that's gonna take a while.
Oh, yeah, the secret final boss, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I already know who it is, and not because of spoilers, but I mean it's pretty obvious. Like his silhouette is just...
Yeah, you get a Blitzel for he trades you a shiny Blitzel for beating him.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Shiny Blitzel, yeah.
Game Freak loves giving us free shiny horses. That one time they gave us a free shiny dragon twice.
Yeah.
And I guess there was also a free shiny dragon. Oh yeah, something that's pretty cool about this DLC I forgot to mention that I think everyone already knows, or at least people who've played the Unova games. There are a lot of Unova references throughout this DLC.
Well, yeah, and that's why everybody's saying they're gonna do a fucking remake. You know,
I just hope they don't screw up the Unova remakes, like
they did with BDSP. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna say that Unova is not my favorite region. It's because it's not. It's probably like a second favorite, but second or third favorite. The Black and White 2 made the first Black and White 1 weren't terrible, but I do think Black 2 and White 2 are the definitive experience. So I want to see how they handle the remakes, because those games, you can't really just remake one of them and not do the other. Will they not even remake them? Will they maybe just give us Legends Kyurem and then some kind of Black and White 3 or something? I don't know.
It's something where even PLA had a Black and White reference in it. So
yeah, the Sinnoh being connected to Unova and
it's just I feel like if they drop the ball here, they will have really fucked it up. You know, so.
I just hope, yeah.
You know, I'm really hoping that they don't completely mess that up, you know?
Yeah, I think they might have learned from their mistakes, because...
Hopefully,
because I know a lot of people still bought BDSP, but there are also a lot of people who don't like BDSP, so
like me.
Yeah.
But Game Freak usually just listens to sales numbers, from my experience these days, at least.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Who knows? I'm not going to be upset if they announce it. It would be cool to see, but what I'm really hoping for when it comes to Gen 5 remakes is at least give us Legends of Kyurem, and in my opinion, it has to be about Kyurem because there was an original dragon form that we've never been able to see yet, which would be cool to see, like Kyurem's origin form. Like,
yeah,
that's
like that's kind of the thing is there's a
and make it look cool. Don't lodge a fork in its throat, or make it look like a centaur without arms.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of that. None of that. Yeah.
Please no Squidward with a fork in his mouth.
But yeah, like. Yeah, I do think that if they finally give us that would be fucking sick. Like the OG Kyurem form with Reshiram and Zekrom both included.
Right. I really want to see their fused versions. Like,
yeah.
Like people have been making their own versions of that forever, and it'd be interesting to see if anybody got it even close to correct.
Yeah.
Right.
It would be cool to see how it looks. And also, what I'm really hoping they do with Legends Kyurem is please just use the models that they've been using in Scarlet and Violet, because those Pokemon models are so good. Like,
I know, right?
You get the same art directors that are doing this, which I hope they will, because I'm pretty sure it's the same people who did Pokemon Snap remake or sequel, whatever it is. I haven't played it, so I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure it's the same people who made these models. Anything from Unova, bring them over to similar to Legends Arceus. And since we already have the models, you could make these Pokemon available for transfer as well. Maybe, I don't know how it works. 'Cause I know Legends Arceus made it where I don't know, I'm fine with whatever they give us as long as it plays like Legends Arceus and improves upon that gameplay.
Yeah,
so like
if they do another Legends style game, I feel like they absolutely have to give us the option to fight the bosses normally as a Pokemon battle instead of Dark Souls style. Like I 100% feel like the PLA was aggravating in spots because you couldn't do that. So,
yeah, I don't really like the Dark Souls style fighting.
Yeah, they should definitely give us just the option to do it. And what I'm saying is I do like the gameplay. I really like how smooth everything runs when you move around. You can catch Pokemon in the overworld. If you throw a Pokeball at them, you can sneak up on them. It's all really cool and immersive, but the boss fights definitely got really annoying, some of them. The first two were alright, but starting with Arcanine, that's when it was just like, oh, fuck.
Well, and like I said, it's something where a lot of those fights, because the thing is, there's a bunch of legendaries in the post game that are also annoying as fuck to fight.
Oh yeah,
and there was a special trick to the fucking genies, but for the rest of it, they were just so bad. I couldn't fucking, just it was just terrible. And the fact that they were just so tone deaf as to think that just all these people who love playing Pokemon, which is not an action game, would just love to have that gameplay was just shitty.
I think it's a welcome feature for the people who want it, but don't force it upon everyone.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I feel like if they had made it to where you could do it that way, and or you could just have a Pokemon battle, because there's that one trainer, she's like the second warden that you meet, and she's like basically bitching at you for the way you treated Cleavor. But it's like, but I beat Cleavor without ever Pokemon battling it. I just threw fucking its favorite food at it until it stopped trying to kill me. So it's like, that's not mistreating a Pokemon. So why are you bitching at me for mistreating it when I didn't do that? So I feel like if they would change the dialogue based on how you fought it, then that would give some people an incentive to want to do it the other way,
Yeah.
Like, if they would just let you freaking fight it the way you want and then have different dialogue as a result, that would make a better game. But,
Definitely would.
you know.
Yeah, because I mean, I for one did have a fun time doing it, but then again, I play Dark Souls games, so I'm not everyone. Most people don't want to play Dark Souls. When most Pokemon fans don't want to play a game for it to be challenging. Like Pokemon games are known for being easy or like relatively easy. So like, and it's the post game is when Pokemon games can get challenging, like battle facilities. So that's the other thing. That's the one thing I didn't like about Legends Arceus was the lack of battle facilities in the post game. But then again, Legends Arceus wasn't really focused on battles. That's what one thing I'd love to see Legends Kyurem improve on is give us actual battle facilities, because Legends Kyurem doesn't have to be set in like super long ago in the past. It could be set in like maybe, because Legends Arceus is obviously set in like
the modern day,
like the 1800s or something, right? Or at least what the Pokemon world's equivalent would be to the 1800s, based on the way everyone dresses and how the buildings are. Legends Kyurem could probably take place in like the early 1900s or something, or like make it more of a. I've heard people theorizing that maybe Legends Kyurem could take a sort of a crime setting and have Looker in it as well, or like his ancestor, like an ancestor Looker in it. Have it be some kind of like investigation detective story or something like that.
Yeah,
which I think could be interesting considering the whole Unova, like, old America thing. Yeah. I mainly just want improvements on gameplay, the models come over from Scarlet and Violet, and giving us the option to battle bosses with just our Pokemon, or the option to fight them ourselves if we want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's the best. That's the biggest one for me, because I feel like, I would also like to really see them just abandon the Pokemon Go stat spread mechanics altogether and just use regular fucking Pokemon stats. Because I feel like PLA was still a Pokemon Go game. And I don't want to play Pokemon Go. If I wanted to play Pokemon Go, I'd play Pokemon Go.
Yeah, because you can make your Pokemon pretty overpowered in Legends Arceus because of that. Like, you can pretty much give them all like 255 EVs in each stat, pretty much, or like something like that. Like,
yeah, well, it's because it's different. It's the tri-stat system for Pokemon Go, and it's not like
it's not the same.
It's not the same, and like, and then when you bring them over to a real game, their IVs are all fucked up. So
yeah. Like, damn it, I got a bottle cap my Arceus.
Excuse me, their EVs are all fucked up. Anyway,
I've been I've been playing Legends Arceus recently, finally, because I wanted to actually beat the game again, since the whole fiasco happened where I lost my save file because I got a new Switch and I wasn't able to use backup saves.
Right.
So what I decided to do was because Pokemon Home gives you one free box to use, so I've just been using that. I got my entire party from Legends Arceus. I transferred it over. I leveled everyone up. Evolved my my Cyndaquil into a Quilava. Gave them all Everstones so they wouldn't fully evolve at all. They wouldn't evolve at all, so I could evolve them in Legends Arceus itself. Evolved them in Legends Arceus, and then I got a bunch of Pokedex pages, and I'm already like rank 4. And I just beat the second boss, and I'm rank 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can be a pretty crazy way to clear out the Pokedex. So I think I'm going to be doing that. And I learned that trick from a YouTuber who I saw do something similar to Legends Arceus to complete his Pokedex without catching any Pokemon.
How's that go?
BDSP. I think he used like BDSP or something, and then used Pokemon Home to transfer over the Pokemon so he could still get the Pokedex page. So he still technically caught them, just not in Legends Arceus itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think obviously you had to catch the starter, but yeah.
Well, and the thing is, you have to catch Pokemon in that game to progress.
The Bidoof machines, yeah.
So
I don't know.
My thing would be just, I mean, because you can go in there and just catch Pokemon. Like, catching Pokemon like a major part of the gameplay, in my opinion. So it's
Legends Arceus,
You know, so
I
basically you just start up the game and you go, you know, well, what do you want me to do? Not catch every Bidoof I see, and then you
Yeah.
and then you just start catching fucking Bidoofs. You know.
Yeah, I'm not doing my found with shinies. That's my biggest
Yeah.
thing, regret with losing the save that I had. Is I had like 20 shiny
Yeah.
Pokemon that I lost, and
Right.
most of them were encountered. I will never forget the time where I ran into 2 shinies on the same like area at once.
Yeah, I did
Both
that
a shiny
too.
Goomy and Golbat. The Goomy was from an outbreak, I believe, and the
Yeah.
Golbat was full odds, and they both appeared right at both at once, which was pretty
Yeah.
crazy. I was like, oh shit!
I mean,
hear
what
the
do you want me to do?
shiny
Not
sound effect.
catch
Oh,
every
hey, there's a
Bidoof I
Golbat.
see?
Oh, there's my Goomy too. What the hell? Like, I caught them both too thankfully, but yeah, I basically have been leveling up my mons to it speeds up the Pokedex process by a lot, and also it gives me a team of level 60, 70 Pokemon to just sweep the game with.
Yeah.
So XP candies are great.
Yeah.
So that's how I've been doing, because I do want to beat the game again eventually. I don't know how long it'll take me. I've been playing it every now and then. I'm somewhat getting back into the gameplay loop, because I mean, Legends Arceus is at least still fun to play when I'm like, because you can actually move around and catch Pokemon. Like you can just boot up the game, throw some bait at some Pokemon, like catch them, and turn it off if you want to. Like it's a pretty easy to just get on game. Or I feel like with more regular Pokemon brand monsters, you have to just like, I don't know, be more in a mood to play it.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the background on this panel. Now that I've managed to finish this. Gotta say, my man's looking pretty dapper here. Alright, let's see.
I was gonna
Oh my
recording
gosh.
myself because I wanted to see what you were making, but yeah.
Yeah, if you weren't watching any of the new anime this season, there's too fucking many of them.
No, that's the reason why I've just for anime. I might catch up on a new one. I'm waiting for before I start reading the manga, because at this point I almost want to read the manga. I heard they're finally reviving Chainsaw Man for season 2. They're making they're gonna make a movie first. The movie is gonna be canon, and I guess the movie is a continuation of the story. And then after that, they're sending it over to a new studio, which I mean, that's good because honestly, Mappa deserves a break. Well, they have Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, like way too many anime. They have to make it once. I think the whole reason Chainsaw Man was delayed for a time is because, Jesus Christ, what the fuck was that? Anyways,
I've been wanting to see more of Chainsaw Man for a long time now.
Yeah, I'm almost contemplating reading the manga. I actually did. I read like one more volume of the manga because I was at a mall, like a few months, like the middle of last year. I think it was in like June or something. I went to hang out with some friends at the mall because there was an arcade there. It was pretty fun. Anyways, before I get sidetracked and talk about that arcade, I read like I think the 6th volume of the manga, 6th or 7th. It was either of the two, because it was a continuation of where the anime leaves off, and the manga is way ahead, like extremely far ahead of the anime, because they haven't had time to make a second season, and the manga started in 2018. So, anyways, I read that, and I think that's what the movie's mainly going to focus on, like that volume of the manga, maybe some more.
Yeah.
I don't know how the movie's going to be, other than it's just called the Reize arc, so I'm assuming it's just going to adapt a lot of the manga from that arc. And, so as for new anime, I haven't really been watching any. I've actually recently just been rewatching Code Geass because it's my most favorite anime, and I swear it's only one bad episode.
Only one
You,
episode.
you just need to get to the cat episode.
Just need to finish the
Everyone in
damn
the
cat
fan base-
episode, then
yeah.
all the good stuff's in there.
Yeah, everyone in the fan base agrees that episode sucks, and it's like the only filler episode. And I feel like the only reason they introduced that episode, to have that episode, is to introduce Suzaku into the school system, because they couldn't really think of another way to do that. Because that's the whole episode's about him becoming a student at the academy, and
Jeez.
so they had to make it a filler episode because
Catch my
this
cat.
episode is going to be about action. Like so, the only action in this episode is chasing a cat because it stole Zero's maps.
Zero.
I mean, it
Zero
is
frantically
yeah.
trying to get pussy the whole episode.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's funny because that's actually it's not really a spoiler, but that's kind of a plot point of the episode is to keep him from catching the cat. The student council president makes it where the first person who finds this embarrassing item that he lost gets a kiss from one of the like female club members.
oh no.
Yeah, and so like it literally just feels like an entire anime filler episode
God.
until the end of it when you actually get plot at the end of it. But
Right.
yeah,
But yeah, so solo leveling is a thing this season.
oh
And that anime has been absolutely sick so far. I have heard from people who've read the book series that it does not end well. Like that the ending kind of sucks. But the story itself is really compelling. So
oh nice. I might go check that out.
yeah, like it's you know, for people who like stuff like Attack on Titan and Chainsaw Man, it's right up there. It's not technically like the same type of isekai story that you normally get out of an isekai. Basically, it's set in the future, and like these gates appear that connect our world with another world, right? But the place that it connects is basically a dungeon, and so so people who live in our world have started developing supernatural powers to help them fight dungeons, and of course they call them adventurers and they give them ranks and all that crap, but when a dungeon appears, they have a group of adventurers go on a dungeon raid to kill the dungeon boss, because if the gate remains open for too long and the dungeon boss isn't killed, then the monsters from inside the dungeon will escape into our world and start killing innocent people. So that's kind of the goal, is to prevent that from happening, right? So anyway, the main character starts out and he's like considered weak even amongst the lowest adventurer ranks. But like he ends up going into this dungeon and they find a secret room and they find the boss chamber, but the boss room is all fucked up. Like it has like special rules and all this crap, and like everybody starts dying. And anyway, the main character is the only one who ends up actually solving the puzzle in the boss room, because everybody else runs away or dies. And so like, but like he's like right about to die when the clear conditions are achieved, and this like little box pops up in front of him and says, "You have the qualifications to become a player. Do you accept? No, your heart will stop in 0.2 seconds if you don't accept." Like, so it just shows like, so he clicks yes on the thing. It's just.
Oh, I don't want to die.
But yeah, like it's just, it's been wild so far though. Like just the way that just the way that it works and everything. Like so yeah, and I get the feeling that it's not even it's just getting started, basically. Like those first 2 episodes were absolutely nuts, and I think they're just getting started. Like,
Wow.
so that one's gonna be flames. It's absolutely fantastic so far. And then like on the other end of the spectrum, you've got Fluffy Paradise.
What's that?
So Fluffy Paradise is an isekai series about an overworked office lady. She dies from overwork, and like as her spirit's leaving her body, she's like, "Wait, I have to die." And she's like, "This can't be the way I die." Like being overworked, like. And then God shows up, and he's like, "Oh, hey, I can change that if you want." And she's like, "Wait, what?" And
I can't die by being overworked.
yeah, so basically she gets this offer to from God to reincarnate in this world and in this other world, and basically she's there to observe humanity and decide if they need to be wiped out or not. Like, but he's like, what kind of cheat power do you want for your life in this new world? And the thing is, she's still bummed about dying and everything. So she's like crying, and she's like, I just want some healing from fluffy animals. She's like, I just want to go over to my parents' house and floof their cat.
I just want to go home and floof my parents' cat.
Yeah, so he's like, okay, we'll make that your power. And she's like, wait, what? So he makes it to where all non-human creatures love her.
Oh my god, that's fucking insane.
And then she gets reincarnated as a baby, and the story, and then it skips forward to when she's like 3. so she's like a little 3-year-old. And like she like walks outside, and she's immediately mobbed by animals, and not in a bad way. Like they're just there because they want to be near her because they love her so much. Yeah,
that sounds really funny.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely hilarious. Like,
she has the power of all Disney princesses ever combined.
Yes, she's got the combined animal magnetism of all the Disney princesses. Yes, and it's funny too because her parents are like, oh, isn't that cute? All the animals love her, and then she's mobbed by pigeons, and they're like, maybe not. Maybe that's not such a great thing. Yeah.
Did somebody say the door to darkness?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's just funny though. This.
Hey.
But yeah.
Oh, what's the name of that series?
It's called Fluffy Paradise.
Fluffy Paradise.
Like the Japanese name is one of those sentence titles. It's like.
That one time I got reincarnated into a world where animals love me.
No, it's like Isekai de Mofu Mofu something like it. But basically the literal translation for the title is I'll do my best to pet and pat my way through another world.
Well, at least shortening it for the American audience is a step in the right direction.
Right, yeah. It's they went and just decided to make it a 2-word title instead of a sentence title for the localization, which is not terrible, But yeah,
I got isekai into another world where I had to fight creatures and go into a pirate ship with a bunch of people and ended up fighting my dad. I mean, Final Fantasy X, the anime.
Right.
I honestly couldn't make that game into an anime.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from the whole isekai thing,
there's
story,
a lot of Final Fantasy games that would make good anime. It's just they chose the ones that they choose to animate are not the best ones for it.
The only one that was ever good in my opinion was Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. That is a great movie, for its time.
That was a good movie. Yeah, Advent Children Complete is even better from what I understand. But
I like it.
But the
Complete is basically the default version of it now.
Yeah, exactly. Why watch the original version when that exists?
Mm-hmm.
But
it's not like there's a Han shot first thing going on or anything.
Right. Yeah, they didn't like change major details. They just added a bunch of stuff that makes it better. You know.
Yeah, it's
But,
cool. I like it.
But yeah,
The mini OAV series they did for 15 was pretty good, except for the fact that,
It's 15.
Well-
that's what I'm saying.
well, yeah, that was a pretty good joke, but with 15 they did the whole multimedia experience thing that I usually never get into, but the story and concept really tugged at me. So I ended up getting the super deluxe version of King's Glaive, which is basically an hour-and-a-half cutscene that you basically have to mentally pace together at a certain point early on in the game. And of course, you know who's gonna die because Sean Bean voices him.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think the thing I don't like the most about 15, aside from 15's gameplay, was the fact that you have to watch the movie to fully understand the story. Like,
Yeah,
I know
that was-
Square Enix, like, the only other series that Square Enix did with that was good was Kingdom Hearts. Because Kingdom Hearts, you had to play like a lot of the games to understand the story fully of 2.
Right.
But at least Kingdom Hearts is a good series, unlike Final Fantasy 15, which is, I mean, it's not terrible. It's not, I wouldn't say it's the worst game they've released, but
Right.
I know it's down there. At least the graphics look pretty good for their time. I will say that it still holds up today in terms of graphics. That's
Well, at
probably
least-
the only thing I can give it, though.
At least with Kingdom Hearts, each of the games they released were complete upon release.
Yeah.
15, they took the finish it later approach and then charged the players for all the story stuff that they put back in. Well, not all of it, but there's a certain chapter range between like chapters 12 to 15 of Final Fantasy 15 that they literally had to patch back in months, if not almost a year later, which
That's
really
true.
irritated me.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
wonder no wonder I found Final Fantasy 15 for the PS4 used at GameStop for like $2.
Oh jeez.
Even not. It's one of those games.
Must have been before the pandemic.
Oh, I mean,
But,
is it like
'cause-
really expensive now?
Yeah, it was like
I mean-
right when the pandemic started. It was like you couldn't find anything for less than $15 or 20 for a good while.
I mean, yeah, literally, I checked GameStop like a week ago. They had it used for $2. They also had Watch Dogs 2 for around the same price, because that's another bad game.
Yeah.
I guess
But yeah.
used PS4 games, I don't think it'd end up being like $2 or something.
Yeah.
Well,
There was
there's
a.
plenty of good games that'll end up being
There are-
$2
there
or
are.
$5 just
There are
because they're
some
old.
classics, yeah.
But
Yeah, but I'm talking about stuff from like the last generation. Like,
So I think it was back in the '90s. They did an anime based on Final Fantasy V. Which, if you had to pick an anime or a Final Fantasy to make an anime on, Final Fantasy V would be close to the bottom of the list. It'd be like maybe right above like Final Fantasy 1 and 3. Like it's just like there's barely a plot to that game. It's not good. Like Final Fantasy 4 would have been a way better choice. Like 5 had just such a basic, crappy storyline, and then they made that into an anime. And then after that, you got Final Fantasy Unlimited, which was a completely original story using Final Fantasy characters. And that one was originally slated to be a 52-episode anime, but it did such poor numbers that they ended up cutting it to 26 episodes and rapid finishing it. You know? Which is a shame, because I feel like I feel like the finale did seem a bit rushed, and that they could have done a lot more with it if they had the time to develop the characters.
I tried to get into it. I couldn't.
Yeah, it is really, like, basically the problem with it is that it's very formulaic. Like the episodes are all very samey for for the most part until you get towards the end. So the story in Final Fantasy Unlimited revolves around two children whose names, and this was definitely intentional, like it was a pun, but their names are you and I. Like the boy is you and the girl is I, like AI, like so. And they definitely did that intentionally. Anyway, so you and I are head into another world called Wonderland in search of their parents, and while they're there, they meet a mysterious man with a strange device that he calls a Ma gun. And the guy's name is Kaze, but his gun doesn't just shoot things, it summons things. So he's basically a summoner, and he summons different creatures based on which 3 bullets he loads into the Ma gun. Like and he has like this whole shtick with recycled animation and everything that he does when he's doing his summoning. And like I said, that's one of the like. That's one of the reasons that the episodes feel so samey.
So it almost has like a magical girl feeling to it.
It kind of does, like, because basically the plot for the episode is right. The kids and the girl that they end up meeting, who's traveling with them, will be wandering around, and they'll run into a monster, and the girl that's protecting them has trouble killing it all on her own. And then out of nowhere, they run into Kaze, and Kaze, it's a lot of the time they'll run into Kaze before they get into trouble, but he'll just be like doing some random shit, and he doesn't care to interact with them, But then they'll get into trouble later, and Kaze will show up like out of nowhere, and he'll launch into his recycled animation monologue deal. Like he'll like basically point at the enemy and he'll like, the soil charge triad to use against you has been decided. and then he starts loading the gun. Like there's this whole animation for the Ma gun thawing where it changes from its normal form into its ready to shoot form. Like and then he's like, the Ma gun has thawed, and then he starts pulling the bullets out of his belt, and like. The bullets are like basically like different. Each one has like different types of powder in it, and they're different colors, and like they all have like cool names. And so like one of the fun things to do while you're watching it is to try and guess what he's summoning with the colors that he's using.
Oh yeah.
Like because like I think the first episode he summons Phoenix, and he's like so he's like and like because he always describes the colors like really vividly, like he's like he's like the blazing sunset, burning gold, like he pulls the gold bullet out and loads it into the gun, and it's like and like he like does that type of stuff where he's like describing each bullet's colors as he's loading it and everything, and then finally he shoots the gun, and then the 3 different waves come together and summon the creature, and then the creature just does its thing and kills the monster that they're fighting, like. But yeah, but like I said, it's a very formulaic sort of conflict resolution that they do in that show, and like I said, it's definitely not for everybody. It's a weird series, and yeah, I think they probably kind of realized that a little too late. They have a Chocobo in there. They have Sid. Like they do like the normal Final Fantasy staples in there, but like I said, it's just a lot of Final Fantasy fans are probably going to feel a little weird and lost, But it's an isekai, which is it's a weird thing for a Final Fantasy game to be an isekai, or Final Fantasy anime to be an isekai, because none of the games are. But
World of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, like
World of Final Fantasy,
right? At the time, none of the games were, but anyway, so, let me correct myself there. But
at the time.
Well, 10 it was.
10 is technically an
10 is
isekai.
technically
It's not a full isekai, but
10 is technically time travel.
yeah,
Because
it's like yeah.
you know, because he's
No
traveling
flux
to like
capacitor necessary.
yeah, he's traveling to the ruined future of the Xanarkand that he lived in. You
So I'm
know,
guessing Legends Arceus would also be time travel then in that case.
yeah, it's not. Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, Legends Arceus can technically be considered an isekai. Because like they
Pokemon
ask
Go
you
games.
at the beginning if you've ever heard of Pokemon or not,
Oh yeah.
meaning that your character could potentially be from a world where Pokemon don't exist, depending on how you play it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, considering the game's story too, where they say Pokemon are terrifying creatures. Like,
Yeah.
Also,
So-
our character has a voice actor, so they're not from the Pokemon. I'm just kidding.
right, yeah,
They aren't the same voice
Somewhat of a
actors.
actor. Somewhat of a voice actor, they run like playing.
but yeah, like but yeah, there's certain things about PLA that still I think make it qualify as an isekai, because you could definitely play it as though you are a time traveler from the future, and that you've already met Pokemon and you know what they are and everything, or you could play it as though you've been isekai'd from a completely different world and you just happen to be wearing a Pokemon shirt. You know?
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, it's how the Pokemon games are. Yeah, because just be like a Pokemon fan.
you know, so yeah.
Be like Mystery Dungeon.
So yeah, you could basically be like, yeah, I'm from a world where Pokemon don't exist, but or they only exist as a show or video game or whatever, you know. So
World where
So-
Pokemon.
So like I said, I think you have kind of the option to play Pokemon Legends Arceus as an isekai if you so choose.
So can you reassure one of the NPCs that they're not going to die unless the franchise stops selling?
Right.
Here's the thing about like the mainline Pokemon games. The characters are in a game and they know it and accept it. Like it's a thing
Right.
that's present throughout like pretty much the
Yeah.
entire thing. It's only the most recent games that have made it to where you don't actually have a way of meeting the game dev team in the game.
Yeah.
The game devs were doing like cheeky self inserts for like the first several generations. Like it was only the most recent game or two that they didn't have a way to meet them.
Jack, you can't die, not until the grosses go down.
Right, but anyway, so it was a thing where the way that they did the games for Pokemon, you know, like there's definitely with Pokemon there's definitely a sense that the characters know that they're part of a video game, and it actually explains a lot of the people, like, because there's a lot of people who make these videos like, oh, why don't all the people from Team Rocket just jump you at once and kill you? It's like because they are bound by the rules of the game, they can't.
Yeah,
You know,
and, like,
They're literally physically unable to join in on the battle because the game doesn't allow them to. You know, so they have to challenge you one by one. And there's no guns in the game. They can't. They're not available. So, you know, like that was something that they actually had to deal with the anime producers. They had an episode where there was guns, and the people from the video games were like, yeah, maybe we should be watching you guys more carefully because there's no guns in the game. You know, like stop it. You know, like so. Because like the anime did a lot of really stupid stuff that you can't do in the games, and they just kind of got away with it, you know. Like, but the guns thing was one thing where they said, no, you can't use guns. Sorry.
Yeah, the infamous Safari Zone episode.
Yeah.
There was the tentacle one as well that had guns.
Well, most of the time when they show characters with like guns or firearms, it's like something that like shoots a net or something. You know, it's not like
They'll shot bullets.
They'll show Team Rocket with like a bazooka or something but it'll like shoot a net. You know.
Yeah. There were a few episodes of guns that shot bullets. Like the There was the one that was banned, of course, but I think that one was banned because he held a gun up to Ash.
Yeah,
as a
well, that's
kid.
Basically, the
But,
reason that was ultimately cut was because, like you said, he was pointing the gun at somebody's face, which is a huge no-no in American syndication. So, at least for censorship rules and regulations here. That was definitely going to They could have just cut that one scene, but they ended up just cutting the entire episode because of how frequent the gun use was. But yeah, that was kind of the overarching issue, was that they had that whole thing going on.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, first of all, Solus, you're spelling teleport wrong, and second of all, I don't think we can use that command anymore. I already tried it.
I'm in fucking creative mode. I'm trying to get to work.
It's TELEPORT, not TELAPORT. Sorry, just kidding.
Yeah.
Fucking shit.
Jeez, I was joking.
I know. God, I keep hitting plus on accident.
Man.
I mean, I'm right here.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, that's a cool firework. Oh yeah, speaking of
Get me off the
I'm trying to
fucking...
remember what I was gonna say about Pokemon.
Okay, yeah.
We were talking about the anime, and I was gonna say something and I forgot it.
Sorry that I made you forget.
That's fine. I don't think it was too important anyways. I'll probably remember later.
Yeah, nothing about the Pokemon anime could possibly be important, so don't worry.
And no, it wasn't about the anime. It was about the games and the fact that, they realized they're in a video game because ever since Gen 1, they don't have these trainers in later games, but there was an NPC who had black hair and he was holding a Game Boy, and he would actually usually be playing Pokemon on his Game Boy. Like, for instance, in Ruby and Sapphire, there are two trainers in the trainer school that are not doing their work in class. Instead, they're playing Pokemon and trading with each other.
Right.
That's what they tell trade evolutions too.
There's an NPC in the very first set of Pokemon games, Red and Blue, and he's the guy that gives you the TM counter. And he says, "Hey, I just finished playing Pokemon, and I don't need this TM anymore. You can have it."
Yeah.
It's definitely the fact that they are aware that this is a game and that they're part of it. You know.
What fourth wall?
Yeah, it's something where they are. It's not just a fourth wall break. It's the fact that these guys are aware that they are NPCs in a video game. The character, the canon is that the characters are aware that they are NPCs in a video game. It's something where they may have tried to distance themselves from that in some of the newer games, but but the thing is that there's also a thing in the video games where it's a multiverse. So they've already introduced the concept of the fact that there are multiple universes, and so for example, Ruby and Sapphire take place in a different universe than Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and there's different events going on in the different games because of that. You know.
Cool. I think it's a interesting website. In fact, I think Game Freak was one of the first big names to bring multiverses, because obviously multiverses have been a thing in fiction for a really long time. But I think Game Freak was one of the first companies to make it really mainstream.
Yeah.
Would that make all of the remakes an alternate universe?
Yeah, Fire Red and Leaf Green are in a different universe than Red, Blue, and Green, and also Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, because those are also remakes of the same type of thing. So they're
I didn't want to assume.
Yeah.
Yes. There are games. Oh, go on.
There's the multiverse thing is never better utilized than I want to say it's at the end of, is it Gen 6 or I think it's Gen 7, in the
Rainbow
Ultra
Rocket.
Sun Ultra Moon
Yeah.
with Team Rainbow Rocket,
yeah,
where
love that.
basically it's a group of leaders of evil teams that basically won in their timelines, in their universes, and they're all working together to try and take over the timeline the universe that you're in.
Yeah.
You know, so
Where's the TVA when you need them?
so yeah, so it's like so basically like it's Giovanni from Team Rocket, and he's got Mewtwo, I think. And then like the leaders from Team Aqua and Team Magma, and they have Groudon and Kyogre, and like you know.
Oh yeah, I remember that episode.
Also,
You know,
there's something really cool about that actually that I like. It's a personal theory I have. Because obviously the Pokemon multiverse, there are games that are part of the same universe. Like, for instance, I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver are in the same universe as Diamond and Pearl, like the same that part of the universe. And Fire and Leaf Green also take place in that universe.
Well,
because in Fire and Leaf Green, this connects to the whole Giovanni backstory with Silver being his son. Because this wasn't really a thing until Fire and Leaf Green, when they pretty much confirmed that he's Giovanni's son.
Yeah.
And they hinted at it, and they confirmed it. And also, what I was going to say, though, is that Rainbow Rocket, now this is just a theory I have, but Rainbow Rocket might be a continuation of the Celebi event. And the reason I say this is there's a bit of dialogue from Giovanni. So the whole reason he disbanded Team Rocket was that he tells his son, Silver, when you travel back in time, eavesdrop on their conversation, that he's going to build a better organization with like-minded sort of masterminds or leaders of other, just other strong leaders. And it could just be a coincidence, but I'd like to think that basically after he left and went to that cave, because then you battle him in that cave, how Giovanni goes missing, they don't hear from him. He could have happened to stumble across a wormhole, and also he could have captured Mewtwo in between those times, because the thing with Pokemon's post-games the post-game is usually not canon to the story. Like most
it's
games,
just something
like,
optional that you could do as the player and not something that's canon. But
so canonically, the player does not capture Mewtwo, or at least there's a chance they don't. Not necessarily, because when we battle Red, he doesn't have Mewtwo on his team.
Right.
It could be he could have it in his PC, but at the same time, Giovanni could have captured Mewtwo, because in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you can actually catch Mewtwo in the post game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's some crazy stuff could have happened where Giovanni went on. It's really cool to think about. Stuff like that. With,
well, and the thing is, at the end of the Rainbow Rocket episode,
he gets away.
Well, that's the thing. You banish everybody else back to the worlds they came from, but Giovanni, even after being banished, comes back. So he has some sort of way of traveling between worlds on his own. So he doesn't depend on wormholes appearing by chance or whatever to travel between multiverses, or between universes. So it sets it up to where they could have him back again.
I would
later,
love that if they did that.
So
just random black and white remakes randomly have him appear again or something.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I feel like Rainbow Rocket was kind of. I won't say it marked the end of the evil villain teams, but like it definitely marked the end of like the evil villain team that that calls themselves Team Fill in the Blank and is just like evil, because they're trying to take over the world or whatever. Like they still have the teams in each game, but like the last couple games they've just been like not really evil entities. They're just entities. So like Team Yell were not the villains in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Macrocosmos was, and that was an organization that didn't call themselves like a team. So
yeah, I like that because it's better to have a story that has not the main villain team being like predictably, they're going to be the bad guys. Having a plot twist can be good, or even just overall a different villain. It doesn't have to be like, for instance, Dokutoro, or I guess Pekka was the villain of this DLC, the main villain, and technically you could consider Kieran a villain too, at least in the second part of the DLC for the most part of it. So like, I like how they've been doing that actually, because, just in my opinion, out of all the villain teams that Game Freak has given us, I think the best executed ones were Team Galactic, Team Plasma, and also Team Skull. I just think Team Skull is funny.
I thought Team Skull was probably the best one, just because they set you up with the 6 previous generations to think that Team Skull is going to be the bad guys, and then it turns out that the Aether Foundation are really the problem, and Team Skull is just kind of there, like, you know, like
they're just like,
and then the Aether Foundation is using Team Skull to do their dirty work, you know, so.
And it's fun to just call them numb.
Yeah.
You numb skulls.
Yeah, all the skull puns and everything with them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Or that one encounter with the 2 grunts that are like talking about how their names are grunt.
Yeah. Like the in jokes and references, you know, like I said, that's more that's more of an indicator that they are video game NPCs too.
Yeah, like the one the Rainbow Rocket, the one Rainbow Rocket grunt that's like, you make me want to turn 360 degrees and walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's something where, you know, Pokemon games, they have kind of had that weird, you know, sort of self-aware quality to them a lot of the time.
Yeah,
and,
again, creators of Mother. So.
Right, and again, like I said, they have this thing where they kind of, you know, they kind of poke fun at their own stuff sometimes, and a lot of the time they'll catch on to memes too, and and stuff like that. Like
Penny says cringe multiple times.
Right. Well, like you know, they do stuff and they do it on fucking purpose, and then they go tee-hee, you know, like there's I can't remember which game it is. I think it's one of the games in Gen 3, but it's like a double battle against like a cute couple or whatever, you know, like one of those couple battles. Yeah, and one's got an Onyx and one's got a Cloyster.
Yeah, that's in Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Yeah, so it's like,
yeah, I love that one.
You know, it's like, really, dude.
The Onyx and the Cloyster, yeah.
Yeah, like just...
That's the only Pokemon they have, too.
Yeah, it's just, you know, the guy's got an Onyx, the girl's got a Cloyster, and it's like,
a lot of sex jokes, actually.
Dang. Yeah, they have lots of jokes like that, you know, like, not all of them are for localization. Yeah.
Let's not forget the Pokemon such as Pheromosa, Zarina, and Salazzle. Like, those 3 Pokemon are literally just based off of fetishes. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like...
Gen 7 was interesting with certain things.
Gen 7 was pretty bizarre, not gonna lie.
I still like it. I think it's the best ones they gave us in the 3DS.
So...
X and Y weren't terrible, but I can't really play through them again.
I liked
Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I do think they're fun for the post game, and the post game was nice. I also liked the some of the redesigns were cool, and how they changed the characters like Shelly and Corby.
Yeah,
they made them more interesting, definitely.
But yeah,
I don't know.
I liked
Emerald.
Yeah, with Gen 7, I really liked the story, but my only gripe about it was that it's not your story, it's Lily's story.
Yeah, it's
You're basically just following Lily around and participating in her story as a side character. Instead of, you know, your character is not the main character of the game, Lily is the main character, and you're just following her around.
Yeah, like, you know, I mean, it's one of the best stories they've given us, but it doesn't focus around our trainer.
Yeah, it's exactly. And that's probably why it was such a good story, because the rest of the stories have this blank, you know, protagonist who barely says anything, and it's easy to project onto instead of like an actual protagonist with a personality. You know,
that's something they would never do in a mainline game, but it would be so cool to see. Like, take the Final Fantasy, like the later Final Fantasy games approach. Like, for instance, how like the later Final Fantasy games, like 6 and all those, like. Final Fantasy used to be like Pokemon, where you just play as characters who don't talk, at least in their older games. Right. But
so
Game Freak would never do that, but they've already done it in Mystery Dungeon. But in a main series game, it would be a cool experiment. They'd probably get shit on for it, but if they did something like that where the character we play as, you can still customize them and everything, change their outfits, hair, and all that, but they can still talk.
Right.
Like,
yeah. So the thing with Final Fantasy though is Final Fantasy 1 was definitely like that, where it's barely got a plot and none of the characters really talk or anything, because you could like kind of customize your team and have whatever characters you want. Final Fantasy 2 had a plot though. So Final Fantasy 2 had a plot and they had different characters. Like they have a bunch of different characters that kind of rotate in and out of the party. There's a bunch of cutscenes and dialogue. You know, well, I mean, not really cutscene, but there's a bunch of dialogue and whatnot. You know, so between the characters, not just the ones on your team, but like the one, like I said, the like other characters and NPCs. So Final Fantasy 2 definitely had some sort of a plot. Final Fantasy 3 was more like Final Fantasy 1, where it was back to kind of just, you know, pick a team and it's all generic and everything again. Final Fantasy 4 went back to having a plot, you know, so they had the whole thing there with that, and then Final Fantasy 5, it technically has a plot. But it's very generic plot, and it's not just like a pick your own character thing. Like the characters have names, and there's, you know, there is story revolving around the characters. But it's just it was one of the weaker stories out of a non-generic Final Fantasy game where you know, it might as well have just been another Final Fantasy 3 for how it played and everything. The characters were mostly kind of bland, and, you know, anyway, the Final Fantasy VI, on the other hand, had a really awesome plot. You know,
yeah, Final Fantasy VI is really good.
Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy VI were the games on the SNES that had really good plot lines. And a lot of people like Final Fantasy VI especially, because Final Fantasy VI had...
Spoiler alert, the heroes lose.
Now, Final Fantasy VI had awesome gameplay. But,
I was actually going to play 6, but whatever.
Anyway, but Final Fantasy VII, that one, you know, like I said, it was unique and novel in a lot of ways for Final Fantasy. You know, it was the first 3D one, at FMV cutscenes and stuff like that. The gameplay was they basically took a lot of the better elements from Final Fantasy VI and sort of refined them into the materia system. So to me, the Final Fantasy VII's gameplay was very much top tier. Final Fantasy IX ended up using a similar system, and that was also extremely good. I actually, in a lot of ways, I like 9 better than 7, because 9 came out later in the PlayStation's life cycle, and it was more polished than 7 was. The characters still have that kind of chibi look, but that's more of a Final Fantasy thing, you know? So it's just, like, to me, that game was more of a Final Fantasy game. So to me, it serves as one of, if not the best examples of a Final Fantasy game. And the plot for 9 was just spectacular too.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, 9 also was supposed to be getting an animated adaptation.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
It's been forever since I've heard the announcement.
Right. But yeah, Final Fantasy IX is one of the best Final Fantasy games, honestly.
My favorite is 7.
Yeah. Like,
not the remake, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. And then Final Fantasy VIII, like, it had the graphics and everything, but the gameplay, like...
all kinds of wrong decisions.
Yeah, they made some really poor decisions. Like, there are a few people who really understand the whole linking system and everything, that really get into that game and really love it, and more power to those people. But for the rest of us, it was kind of confusing and convoluted. And the fact that you can't really grind, like, they punish you for grinding, basically. it's kind of like in that game, it's kind of better not to grind.
Like Oblivion.
You know, because well, here's the thing: Oblivion and like some of the Elder Scrolls games that have enemies that rise along with you. There's a very simple way to get around that, and it actually makes the rest of the game way easier. So if you hate the fact that Elder Scrolls enemies keep setting to your level, and I'm pretty sure that I don't know which games this does and doesn't work on, but I know it works in Skyrim. Basically, you just start the game by going to every area you possibly can. Like you don't fight anybody, you don't gain levels, you just run around and explore and visit every area in the game. And basically when you do that, it sets the enemies in the game to the level that you are when you first arrive, and they never get stronger. So you can basically cheese the game by visiting all the areas early when your character's weak, and then leveling up and then going and fast traveling back to those areas later, since you've already explored them, and clearing them out with your higher stats, you know? So...
Trying to kill everyone as a vampire. Or a werewolf. I picked a werewolf because the werewolf gameplay was really fun.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of fun gameplay in the Elder Scrolls games. And like...
Well, the way you get cacked in Oblivion far too often is it doesn't matter how you level up, when or where, but eventually you'll have a Minotaur or something come chasing after you that will one-shot you.
Yeah.
Plus, and of course, if you were to take that approach that you just described of visiting every place before you do the story or do any leveling, you would probably end up leveling up a lot anyways just from all that walking.
Yeah. Well,
so you could have you could inadvertently end up as a level 50 in your acrobatics or your and you literally level up with walking in that game.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's
so
something
it's unavoidable.
That's something I don't think they have in Skyrim as far as being able to level up just by walking.
No, they retooled that, but the thing is, who's to know if they haven't patched out that little exploit you just described by the time the Anniversary Edition came out, which is what I got for PS5.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think half the fun in Skyrim is all the bugs and glitches and exploits that you have access to. Like, you know, I'm not saying to play the game with those on the first time, but but once you cleared the game a few times, it's fun to play around with, you know.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I sorely miss Game Shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, Game Shark. Yeah, Game Shark. Oh, actually, I don't know if it's gonna be any good or not because I heard some things about it, but the Game Shark is returning. The reason I say it's gonna be bad though is because it's gonna be AI generated, at least from what I've heard.
Yeah, it's being sold as a way to teach you to learn how to be better at games, and they're retooling it as
what?
AI Shark.
Oh, that sounds stupid. The only reason I know about this is apparently AI Shark, quote unquote, so I'm not going to fully take this I'm taking it with a grain of salt like I do with all leaks, but they leaked the Switch 2's release date to be November, I think either November or September, I don't remember which one it was, I think it was November of this year.
They said September, but they then retracted and said they just made an educated guess. Probably because Nintendo was real ticked at them for hinting at a possible release window.
Yeah, because it probably is going to come sometime this year. I'm welcoming it because the Switch came out in 2017 and it damn well needs a sequel or continuation because the Switch OLED is amazing. I love mine. I have very fun playing on it. The picture quality is beautiful. The metallic finish, like the sort of metal finish it has is really nice. And the kickstand is just amazing. I think it really is the definitive Switch. But I do hope they give us a new system.
Yeah, the OLED is what I affectionately refer to as what the Switch should have been.
Yeah, it's just, honestly, literally, because it's like the PS Vita, for instance, that had an OLED screen, and that came out in like 2000. 11, I believe.
Yeah, it's the best, second best way to play Dragon's Crown.
Yeah, it's it's the best way to play Disgaea 3, from what I know, because the complete edition of Disgaea 3, which has all the DLC, the PS3 version included, plus 2 new chapters and 2 new characters, are exclusive to the Vita. So I've been trying to find a used PS Vita somewhere, because I know that shit's probably never going to come to the Switch, or at least it won't for a while, because we haven't gotten 2 or 82 on the Switch, because of Atlas. Atlas being Atlas.
Well,
and I know NIS makes those games, but Atlas publishes them and publishes the remakes. I'm pretty sure.
No. If you look at all the other remakes on the Switch, it's NIS publishing them themselves. They stopped letting Atlas publish their shit a long time ago.
That's good. Because I thought that's what Siege was going to bring up was Atlas. Well, I guess if it's not Atlas, then NIS needs to port them because they already made 7. I haven't got 7 yet. I want to. I beat the demo already on my Switch. I want to continue my save.
Yeah.
I'm debating whether getting it on my Switch so I can have the full collection, or just getting it on my PC so I can have achievements for once under this Gaia game. I mean, 5 does have achievements built into it, so I guess 7 does too. I think.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on Disgaea 3 because I still lament the day I passed up on the.
Yeah, he told me about that.
Yeah.
That sucks because it's great. It's like a full complete version of the game on the Vita, so it's portable. It was the first full-on portable Disgaea game, actually. I think.
And I'm pretty sure that they made it compatible with the PlayStation Vita TV.
Oh yeah, so you can play it on your TV too.
Yeah, I bought that thing so I could play all the Neptunia remakes. And now they got a full new set of remakes popping out on the PS5.
Oh wow.
The second one of which is now on, or it's about to be on Switch.
Oh nice.
But yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing is with the Switch possibly having a successor coming out, I feel like a lot of people, a lot of studios are kind of waiting to hear about that before, or they may already be developing for it. Before so we may be getting a lot less games on the Switch. There may be some games that were already in development that go ahead and come out over the next year or two, but we're probably winding down the life cycle of the Switch at this point.
Considering a couple of the best games that were released near the end of last year were remakes or remasters, that's like a telltale sign. And that's what most of this year's expected releases are.
Well,
unless
the new Peach game.
Yeah, of course, but after that there's Luigi's Mansion 2 remake, the Thousand Year Door remake, and unless they pull Metroid Prime 4 out of the hat for a February Direct or something.
That would be the best reveal they could have ever given us for the Switch, honestly, because they announced that shit when the Switch first launched. They're like, Metroid Prime 4, now in development. Honestly, I'd rather have it come to their new system at this point, if it is being released this year.
My money would be on cross-gen.
Or cross-gen. It's gonna be the new Tears of the Kingdom, or the new Breath of the Wild. It's gonna be a cross-gen game where it's like, oh hey, if you play it on the new one, you get 60 FPS, 4K, or some shit like that. You know?
Yeah, I think the smarter move would be to have a new giant 3D Mario game, because those titles, platformers, have a broader mass appeal. Or, of course, a Zelda game, but we already got Tears of the Kingdom.
We just got Tears of the Kingdom and Mario Wonder, so...
Yeah, Super Mario, a 2D game, however brilliant and beautiful as Wonder is, it's not going to be the greatest showcase for any kind of new hardware.
Right, exactly.
I mean, nobody has super fond memories of getting the Wii U and new Super Mario Bros. U and having it being a borderline life-changing experience.
Yeah.
I mean, unless, of course, you never had the worst case of buyer's remorse and disappointment to a nuclear level, then it would be a life-changing experience.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just there's some. I feel like you know, the game that is like your console seller that either comes packed in with it or that you are using to drive sales at launch. It doesn't necessarily need to be life changing, but it does need to be really fun.
Sure.
You know, because you're not going to entice anybody to buy a system with a game that is boring. You know, like, and it's something where Nintendo has relied in the past on Zelda and Mario as franchises to sell their consoles. And we just got entries from both of those, so it makes me feel like, you know, what kind of stuff could they be working on for this new console to sell the thing with, you know?
Parallel development happens all the time.
It does. And I'm not saying that they can't do another Zelda or Mario right away, but, like, you know, one of the things that we saw with you know, the GameCube transitioning into the Wii, and with the Wii U transitioning into the Switch, is that we got a Zelda game late into their lifestyles that was then ported and up-resed for the new thing. You know, and that was like one of the early launch titles that was intended to help move units.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that they don't.
So
they don't pull a double dip like that
right.
again.
Well,
especially if the new system is backwards compatible.
Right. Well, here's the thing though. There's a better game. Like I don't know how Tears of the Kingdom plays on the Switch right now, but I hear it plays amazingly.
It does play amazingly.
So. But there's a game on the Switch that does feel like it's a little cramped, like it maybe was designed for something a little bigger, and they had to squeeze it onto the Switch.
Yeah, it's a certain fifth game in a franchise,
well,
a certain devil summoning franchise.
No, I was thinking more of a certain you know, pocket-sized monster game that has lag issues in a bunch of places.
Yeah, there's that too. There's that too.
You know, like
yeah.
You know, like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. You know, they've had to put out numerous patches for the game and everything to fix lag issues and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking maybe this thing was designed for big boy hardware, and then they dumbed it down to fit on. You know.
I think they were just simply rushed, or
you know,
the long-standing rumors of a mid-gen refresh had a lot more meat to it than we all thought, and that's what they were targeting.
They may have been targeting that, and then they just said, "No, we're gonna do something new, so just put it out on the old thing." You know, so yeah, it's something where I feel like there's maybe a little more to that, and that we might get a update to Scarlet and Violet on the new thing, and that's like, oh hey, yeah, now you can play these games and they don't suck. You know?
Right.
So
I mean, as much as I almost wouldn't put it past them to just re-release everything for, you know, $70 a pop, and they all be definitive editions or remasters of last gen. I mean, I almost wouldn't put it past them because since Iwata passed and they got their new Japanese president, they've been doing a whole lot more, you know, corporate suit type of decisions.
Right. Well, and,
so you know, anything goes.
Right, and what you were talking about with like a definitive edition, like, you know, they just finished putting out all the DLC for this, so they could do a port with all the DLC in it on whatever the new system is, and then maybe announce like some new DLC that's exclusive to the new thing, or, you know, or something like, you know.
Right. Yeah, that would be epic, not gonna lie.
Like,
yeah, I would expect them to do that with Tears of the Kingdom, frankly.
Yeah, but like I said, they've never done it with Pokemon before, but let's be honest, Pokemon probably helps them move new consoles better than a lot of their other franchises. So
yeah,
you know, I wouldn't necessarily put it past them to do it with Pokemon either, and they might do both. So we can see that type of behavior from both games, or both franchises rather, and I wouldn't necessarily be surprised, they might just do like a, they haven't done this in a while, but they might just do a third game.
Yeah, I would love to see that. They haven't done that since. They haven't Platinum.
They haven't really done that since. Because lately it's been two new games for when they've done it. Yeah, because they did Black 2 and White 2.
No, Black and White.
Black 2, White 2, and then
Black and White. Actually, because they didn't do Pokemon Gray since 2012. They've done this since 2012.
Yeah. So
yeah. The thing is, what makes me kind of doubt that, but again, this was when Iwata was still around. Remember the Pokemon Stars rumor that they were going to port Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon in one package for the Switch very early on?
Right.
But they didn't because it would make the Switch itself and the company look cheap and grubby. So, really, again, Nintendo's the most predictably unpredictable company in the entire business, so it's like...
Well, that's why it's fun trying to predict what they're going to do.
Yeah, I just
think it's a little pointless almost.
Right.
Yeah, the one prediction though that's gonna have to happen is backwards compatibility with all Switch games, because if they don't do that, like the PS5, it's backwards compatible with pretty much almost all PS4 games. Actually, all of them if you have the PS4 controller itself for the games that you have to use the camera for or whatever. I think, and I don't know how that works. And the Xbox Series X is compatible with Xbox One games and stuff like that. So they're going to have to do backwards compatibility with at least Switch games, or else it's not going to sell well, because that was one of the Switch's issues at launch, was it had, no games. There was, Breath of the Wild and Isaac, I guess, as well. That was an indie game. That was good, but everything else just kind of...
Switch.
Yeah, 1-2 Switch, the game where it's mostly just you playing with your Joy-Cons and their features, because there's, nothing.
And now this is a family show.
Right, yeah.
But basically, the interesting thing here is to remember that Nintendo has not had too many smooth transitions from one generation to the next.
Yeah.
Especially if the previous generation was incredibly successful. GameCube, they caught it. Well, for example, with the NES, NES was a great success, but then they bring out the Super Nintendo, and there's a whole bunch of public backlash because ignorant people in the news and in general, they felt like, why should I invest in a new system when they've already put in hundreds of dollars worth of hardware and games in the past 5 years. They just didn't quite get the concept, because, especially since Atari completely flubbed that possibility when they were on top. Their 5200 wasn't backwards compatible without an adapter that came out way too late, especially that was right after the crash. So nobody had that fresh in their mind. They thought video games themselves were a fad and were passing on. The NES, great success. People, they just didn't get it. So let's see, the GameCube was in third place, and the Wii was fully 99% backwards compatible with the Cube. But that doesn't matter a whole lot because the Cube was in the distant third.
Right.
The Wii U is backwards compatible with the Wii, but the Wii U was a turd.
Right. Well,
so we absolutely need everything in Nintendo's favor, and that includes backwards compatibility for as much as possible in order to make this their first smooth, successful transition.
Yeah, because pretty much the 3DS, you can say, what were you going to say, Hunger?
So, what I was going to say is there was, every time there is a new type of media, the existing media gets very nervous and starts attacking it. So, for example, for a long time, newspapers kind of reigned supreme as the sole media method. Well, then radio started coming out. And, there was basically when radio came out and started, sort of usurping the newspaper's position as a place where people got their news and entertainment and whatnot, there was a newspaper that ran a story about a sci-fi radio broadcast called War of the Worlds, in which they claimed that people had taken it seriously and thought that it was an actual news broadcast and not a dramatization. The story was complete bunk. It was like there were maybe one or two people that were fooled by it, and the news story made it seem like it was mass hysteria in the paper, because they were trying to use it as propaganda to attack the radio. And then there's been similar things with when TV came out, there were radio stations that would have stuff railing against the evils of television. When video games came out, there were TVs. There's various media and TV personalities coming up with reasons not to like video games. The same thing with the internet. You don't want the internet in your home. No, you definitely don't want to have that thing that makes it easy to forget about your TV. No. So, it's like cable providers are railing against the internet now because the internet basically lets them get all the programs they're watching on cable, but without having to buy a whole ass cable subscription.
Yeah.
So it's something where technology is going to keep improving, and the old guard, as they get replaced, are going to kick and scream and point fingers and call names. Like,
and that happens in all circles.
It happens. It happens in all circles. It's not just entertainment. It happened with electric current too. With
AC,
AC and DC.
Tesla. What's his face?
Tesla. I think it was Tesla and Edison. Yeah. Was it Edison that was trying to claim that Tesla's current was more dangerous? Like he used it to kill an elephant and like all this other shit. Like he's like, oh yeah, no, mine's way safer. Like they're both fucking electricity. You're putting lightning in a wire. Yes, it's dangerous if you use it wrong. But yeah, that poor elephant.
So one of them will kill you 1 nanosecond quicker than the other.
Yeah, but yeah, it was just like, but yeah, they basically were waging a PR campaign. He was waging a PR campaign against this competition, trying to convince them that they were evil.
Yeah, they made a quasi-documentary dramatization movie of that whole thing. It was called The Current War.
Yeah.
It was Tom Holland and Benedict Cumberbatch, and I really wanted to go see it, and I could not find it in the theater, and to this day I still can't find a physical copy.
Jeez, yeah.
It was called The Current War.
Yeah. There was a movie that I started seeing ads for towards the end of last year. I don't know if it's still in theaters or not, but I would go see it if I had the chance.
What is it?
I want to say it's called The Iron Claw, and it's about the Von Erich wrestling family. The Von Erichs were a wrestling family who basically built a dynasty in Texas and like the kind of the indie circuit. Like they weren't like, but they have one of the most tragic stories about their family, and I kind of wanted to see what all the movie covered, because like they did a really good job of picking actors that really kind of looked like the Von Erichs, and I don't know if they just did a lot of CG or what, but
it's still playing.
But yeah, like it's something where that movie, like like I said, I'm really curious to see what part of their lives it covers, because so much awful shit happened to the Von Erichs. Like, it was just terrible. like what all happened to them. Like just like their whole family. It was like they were cursed. You know, like they were rock stars in the wrestling world for a while, but like then like just like bit by bit, all this terrible shit started happening to them. So
all right, so I've got the blurb for the movie still
Yeah.
sitting up here. It says it was released on the 22nd of last month.
Yeah.
It's still in
Relatively new.
theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Says it's the true story of the inseparable Von Erich brothers who make history in the intensely competitive world of professional wrestling in the early 1980s. Through tragedy and triumph, under the shadow of their domineering father and coach, the brothers seek larger-than-life immortality on the biggest stage in sports.
Yeah.
And it's got a 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb, 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, 73% on Metacritic, and according to Google, 93% people liked the movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's one of those things where the Von Erich family's story, like I said, tragedy is probably putting it lightly. Like depending on exactly how much of the story they go into, like, you know, basically almost none of them survived. Like, and it's not just because of like old age or whatever. Like they all like they're like a bunch of them died tragically. You know, like the youngest one who wasn't even wrestling at the time. Like this was before he was old enough to. The youngest Von Erich died in a freak accident in a rainstorm.
Wow.
So basically, this is how cursed this family was, right? It's raining, right? And the youngest Von Erich boy has forgotten to put his bike away, so it's out there getting rained on. So they're you know, the aforementioned domineering father tells him, go out and put your bike away. So he goes out and picks the bike up and gets struck by lightning. Fucking dies. You know? Like, you know, and it's just, you know, and I know that haunted the father. I know it did. Like, that it ate away at him. I think he started drinking after that. Like, it was, you know. But yeah, because he felt like he killed his son, you know? And it was his youngest son, you know, so.
oh wow, the Spotlight Theater is open again.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they closed during the pandemic right after being remodeled, and now it's been remodeled again by Regal. And I was wondering, there's no way this is correct, because when I was looking at the show times for the Iron Claw,
yeah,
it was showing Regal Spotlight. I'm like, that can't be right. They've been closed for a good few years.
Jeez. But yeah, like I said, it's just something where the Von Erich's story just has so much tragedy in it. So Kerry Von Erich, he actually had a run in WWF or WWE, you know, however you prefer to refer to it. But he actually had a run there, and he, yeah. Oh, we got some people. Oh wow, dang. But
You're reading the
dark.
He's like, my cousin lost a leg and both arms. Now he looks like a popsicle.
Dang. But
but yeah.
So Kerry Von Erich,
suckage.
he was I think this was before he made his WWE debut, but he was riding his motorcycle and he got in an accident and he lost a foot.
Oh wow.
Oh jeez.
And instead of quitting wrestling, he wrestled with a prosthetic foot. He had a wooden foot in his boot that he would wrestle with, you know. Like, and he hit it really well. He never let on that he was crippled or disabled while he was wrestling, you know, at least not intentionally. there was actually a match that he was in. It wasn't on television, but there was a match that he was in where somebody tried to put like an ankle lock on him, and they like twisted his foot off.
Oh damn!
Oops.
I bet the crowd freaked the fuck out too.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
But yeah, so but yeah, it's one of those things where he never let that, like he kind of hid it from the other people in the business for a long time. He didn't really let on that he was disabled or injured in any way. But yeah, but he ended up dying. I want to say towards the end of the 90s, and I want to say it was a drug overdose. But anyway, but yeah, like most of the Von Erichs died. I think there's only one of the brothers that's still alive, and there were like five or six of them originally. So it's like just a tragic story for their family. And like I said, I wouldn't say I'm morbidly curious, but I am curious about what that story is going to cover in the movie. Like what part? Like it sounds like they're going to cover the parts in the 80s. So I don't know if they'll cover the youngest son or not. But yeah. But yeah, I know that in a way that their story kind of mimics the Jacksons a little bit with the kind of domineering father, kind of running his own wrestling promotion and everything. But
yeah, just keep in mind that whenever they make any of these documentary or historical biopics, they're going to take liberties. What really annoyed me about what was it? Bohemian Rhapsody was how they bounced around some of the dates of their legendary performances and such. Yeah, I'm like, they made it into a good movie, which sometimes, if you were to just follow the order of how things actually went, it wouldn't flow very well, and I can understand that. But there's ways you can creatively work around that, which is why I'm eagerly anticipating and dreading the prospect of an Aerosmith Walk This Way adaptation.
Right. Well, and it's one of those things where keep in mind the Weird Al Yankovic story. Everybody can agree that nobody did as faithful and accurate as an adaptation as they did. Oh man, like I love how that was just making fun of the trope of like all the exaggerated stuff and
right.
That movie, if you haven't seen it, it's worth it. It's
available on DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's so freaking good. Like just the I just like Al showing up in the movie, like doing cameos and like, stuff like that. Just there's so much good stuff in there. Oh man. But yeah. I love how he's like, oh, Michael Jackson was parodying my music. Oh man. But yeah, no, it's so funny. Like
So to get back on the Nintendo conversation, a handful of relatively high-profile games for the Switch have been slowly disappearing off of shelves, not getting restocked since the holidays. And it's fueling rumors that they're going to get re-released as Nintendo Select's greatest hits titles.
Yeah.
One of the more surprising or maybe unsurprising titles among them is Fire Emblem Engage.
Yeah.
Oh, what? I've been wanting to maybe try that one. I've heard that it's not the best Fire Emblem game, but I do want to try it.
basically what I
From
heard.
what I've
It's,
from what I've heard, and probably Hunger's about to say, is that the combat and mechanics and everything are pretty much top notch, but the story is kind of snooze.
Yeah, basically what I heard is that everything that Three Houses did well, the Fire Emblem Engage sucks at, and everything Fire Emblem Three Houses sucked at, Engage does really well. So,
pull the Game Freak. They pull the Game Freak.
Yeah, so it's basically they did the same thing with Three Houses that the Game Freak did with freaking Pokemon Legends Arceus and Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah.
They just looked at Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee and said, okay, everybody hated this. How can we make the opposite of that? So,
Exactly.
you know. So yeah, just
This is dumb.
yeah. So yeah, it was just a thing. But, all right, well, I got my Tuxedo Common pixel art done.
It looks fucking awesome. I love
Yeah.
it. I absolutely fucking love it.
Yeah. So.
Any character that wears a top hat and tuxedo gets full respect from me.
Right. Yep. I think that turned out really nicely. I based it off of a perler bead art that I saw, but I didn't like some of the colors they used, so I changed the colors, and I think it made it pop.
Yeah, it looks better like that.
So like I like the because they were using like some kind of yellowish colors on the cape, and it was like I don't like the way that makes it look, so I'm just gonna use reds. So, and yeah, I do think it wound up looking a lot better, but you know.
But yeah.
But yeah.
Very nice.
So yeah. So with that said, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night here. I want to thank everybody so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. We will be back next week to try and do something like this again. And of course, as always, I do hope everybody has a great day. Stay warm. Bye-bye.
Good
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.